The 1970 Lincoln penny may seem like an ordinary piece of American currency, but it carries a fascinating history and some unique attributes that make it particularly interesting to collectors and numismatists. This 1-cent coin, part of the Lincoln Memorial series, was minted during a period of cultural and economic shifts in the United States. Examining its production, variations, and quirks reveals why this coin continues to capture interest decades after its minting. The 1970 Lincoln penny belongs to the series that began in 1959, commemorating the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse features the iconic profile of Lincoln. The reverse, redesigned in 1959, displays the Lincoln Memorial, symbolizing the 16th president's enduring legacy. During the 1970s, the U.S. economy faced inflation, and the price of copper, the primary material of the penny, was increasing. Pennies minted in this year were composed of 95% copper and 5% zinc, a composition that would later be changed in 1982 to a predominantly zinc alloy due to rising material costs. The 1970 Lincoln penny was produced at 3 mints: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D mint mark; and San Francisco, S mint mark. Among these, the San Francisco Mint produced proof coins for collectors, characterized by their mirror-like surfaces and exceptional detail. A particularly notable variant of the 1970 penny is the 1970s small date and large date varieties. These differences arise from subtle changes in the date's typography, with the small date being more desirable among collectors due to its relative rarity. The distinction lies in the alignment of the numerals, especially the 7, which appears higher or lower in relation to the 9 and 0. Error coins from 1970 add another layer of intrigue. For example, some 1970 pennies were struck on dime planchets, metal blanks intended for dimes, creating a smaller, thinner penny that stands out immediately. Such errors can fetch high prices in the numismatic market. Additionally, double die errors, where the shine's unintentionally struck twice, creating a doubled image, are highly sought after. While no major double die errors have been widely reported for the 1970 penny, other years in the Lincoln series have famously featured them, making collectors vigilant for new discoveries. Material value. Despite being legal tender for only 1 cent, the copper content of a 1970 penny is worth more than its face value, particularly when copper prices rise. However, melting pennies for their metal is illegal in the United States. Proof. Coins. Proof. 1970s pennies are meticulously crafted for collectors and often exhibit deep cameo contrasts between frosted designs and mirrored fields. Auction records. Rare variants, such as a 1970s small date in exceptional condition, have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction. The penny continues to spark debate over its relevance in modern currency, with some advocating for its elimination due to production costs exceeding its face value. The 1970 Lincoln penny is more than just a small piece of currency. It is a snapshot of American history and craftsmanship. Its variations, errors, and the stories surrounding its production make it a favorite among collectors. Whether you are a seasoned numismatist or a curious beginner, exploring the nuances of the 1970 penny can be both an educational and rewarding journey. This humble coin serves as a reminder of the rich narratives hidden in everyday objects. The differences are subtle and require some practice to discern, but well worth learning about as the average uncirculated or proof. 1970s. Large date sells for less than $1, and the small date sells for $20 to $35 or sound or more. According to the NGC price guide, circulated 1970 D quarters are valued between 30 cents and 85 cents, while uncirculated 1970 D quarters can fetch as much as $110. The finest uncirculated examples can fetch $350, while pieces with moderate wear can go for $30. The 1971 Lincoln penny, also known as the Lincoln cent, is an interesting piece of American numismatic history. While it might seem like just another ordinary coin to the casual observer, the 1971 penny holds significance in terms of its production design and role in U.S. currency. This essay will explore the design and history of the Lincoln penny, its 1971 variant, and some fascinating facts about its production and collectability. The Lincoln penny has been a mainstay of U.S. currency since its introduction in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin was the first U.S. currency to feature a real historical figure instead of symbolic imagery. Its obverse side features a profile portrait of Lincoln, while the reverse originally depicted two wheat ears. 1909 to 1958. In 1959, the reverse design was replaced with the Lincoln Memorial, celebrating the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, a design by Frank Gasparo. The 1971 Lincoln penny maintained this design, combining Brenner's iconic portrait with Gasparo's detailed Lincoln Memorial. This design remained in circulation until 2008, when the reverse was changed to honor Lincoln's life and legacy further. The 1971 Lincoln penny was minted in large quantities, with over 5.5 billion coins produced across the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints. The coin is composed of 95% copper and 5% zinc, making it heavier and more robust compared to the modern pennies made after 1982, which transitioned to a copper-plated zinc composition to save costs. A 1971 penny weighs 3.11 grams, a detail that distinguishes it from the lighter post-1982 versions. Coins from the Philadelphia Mint bear no mint mark, while those from Denver have a D mint mark, and those from San Francisco have an D. D'Os. Monsieur. The San Francisco minted coins in 1971 were proof coins, meaning they were struck with special care for collectors, with a highly polished surface and sharper details. Despite its historical significance, the 1971 Lincoln penny is relatively common and holds minimal monetary value in circulated condition, typically worth just its face value. However, uncirculated or proof versions can be more valuable, especially if they are in pristine condition or feature errors. Mint errors add intrigue to the 1971 penny. Examples include off-center strikes, die cracks, or double dies, which are caused by misalignments or issues during the minting process. Some 1971 double-die obverse pennies, where parts of the design appear doubled, are highly sought after by collectors and can fetch hundreds of dollars at auction. The copper content of the 1971 penny is noteworthy. With 95% of the coin made from copper, its intrinsic metal value fluctuates with the price of copper. At times, this intrinsic value has exceeded the coin's face value, leading to debates about whether older pennies should be melted down for their metal. However, melting pennies for metal recovery is illegal in the United States. As a representation of Abraham Lincoln and a tribute to one of the nation's most influential presidents, the 1971 penny holds symbolic significance. It reminds Americans of Lincoln's leadership during the Civil War and his enduring legacy in promoting unity and equality. The proof pennies minted in San Francisco in 1971 are highly polished and display an exceptional finish. These coins are coveted by numismatists and often sold at a premium, especially when graded by professional coin grading services like PCGS or NGC. The 1971 Lincoln penny might not be the rarest or most valuable coin in American currency, but its enduring design, historical context, and connection to Abraham Lincoln make it a fascinating piece for collectors and enthusiasts. Its copper composition, high production numbers, and potential for mint errors add further interest to this seemingly humble coin. Whether as part of a collection or simply as a symbol of American history, the 1971 Lincoln penny remains a noteworthy artifact of U.S. numismatics. The red pennies from 1971 with the Denver mint mark and MS-60 grade are of the same value as similar coins from Philadelphia, 20 cents. Higher rating ones are also affordable, ranging from 20 cents, 25 to $1. The 1972 Lincoln Memorial penny, part of the long-running Lincoln cent series, is a small yet historically rich coin that has intrigued collectors and numismatists alike. Its enduring design, historical significance, and a few rare minting anomalies have made it a noteworthy piece in U.S. coinage. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the centennial of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it was the first U.S. coin to feature a president's portrait. The 1972 penny continued the legacy with the obverse depicting Lincoln's profile and the reverse featuring the Lincoln Memorial, a design added in 1959 to honor the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. The obverse of the coin prominently features a right-facing profile of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909. It was the first portrait of a U.S. president to appear on American coinage, a historic shift in the nation's approach to coin design. "In God We Trust" is arched along the top edge, reflecting the nation's trust in divine providence. "Liberté" appears to the left of Lincoln's profile, symbolizing one of the core values of the United States. The date, 1972, is placed to the right of Lincoln's profile, accompanied by a mint mark below it if minted in Denver, D, or San Francisco, S. Philadelphia minted coins do not have a mint mark. Brenner's design captures the strength and wisdom of Lincoln's visage, with intricate detailing in his hair and beard. The portrait has remained largely unchanged for over a century, making it a timeless symbol of American history. The reverse side, designed by Frank Gasparo in 1959, showcases the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. This replaced the original reverse design of two wheat ears used from 1909 to 1958, a detailed depiction of the Lincoln Memorial, including its columns, pediment, and steps. Close inspection reveals a tiny representation of the statue of Lincoln, seated inside the memorial, positioned between the central columns. This subtle inclusion is a nod to the importance of Lincoln's legacy. United States of America is inscribed in bold letters across the top. A pluribus unum, Latin for out of many, one, is displayed just above the memorial, emphasizing unity. 1 cent appears at the bottom, denoting the coin's denomination. It was created to honor Lincoln's contributions and the enduring significance of the structure. Over 5.5 billion pennies were minted in Philadelphia alone, making this coin relatively common. However, its variations, especially those with minting errors, have created excitement in the numismatic community. One of the most famous aspects of the 1972 Lincoln penny is the doubled die error, a result of misalignment during the die creation process. This error led to visible doubling on inscriptions such as "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date 1972. These doubled die pennies, particularly the 1972 doubled die obverse, DDO, variety 1, are highly sought after by collectors. Depending on the condition, these coins can fetch anywhere from $100 to over $1,000. The 1972 penny was struck in a composition of 95% copper and 5% zinc. This copper-heavy content makes it heavier than pennies minted after 1982, which transitioned to a primarily zinc composition with a copper plating. Each 1972 penny weighs approximately 3.11 grams and measures 19.05 millimeters in diameter. Interestingly, the high copper content gives the coin a distinctive reddish-brown hue. Over time, this can darken due to oxidation, resulting in variations in appearance that collectors sometimes find appealing. During the early 1970s, inflation was on the rise, and the value of copper fluctuated. This economic backdrop makes the 1972 penny part of a pivotal era in U.S. monetary history. By the early 1980s, rising copper prices led to a redesign of the penny's composition to reduce costs. Uncirculated 1972 pennies, or those graded as mint state, MS, are more valuable. Coins with a pristine red luster, referred to as red, RD by numismatists, are particularly prized. Beyond the famous depot, other minting errors such as off-center strikes or die cracks from 1972 have intrigued collectors. If melted, the copper content of a 1972 penny is theoretically worth more than 1 cent, though melting pennies for their metal is illegal in the U.S. The 1972 Lincoln Memorial penny serves as both a functional piece of currency and a symbol of America's admiration for Abraham Lincoln. While billions were minted, its ties to history and the allure of its error varieties make it a captivating subject for study and collection. For those holding a 1972 penny, it's a small reminder of the enduring impact of President Lincoln and the intricate artistry of U.S. coinage. Collectors and enthusiasts alike find joy in discovering the unique stories behind such coins, proving that even the smallest pieces of history can hold immense value. The 1973 Lincoln Memorial penny is a small yet significant piece of American numismatic history. Part of the Lincoln Cent series, this coin bears the likeness of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, on the obverse, and an image of the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Though it may seem like just another penny in everyday circulation, the 1973 Lincoln penny carries unique aspects that make it intriguing for collectors and history enthusiasts alike. The Lincoln est Kacoin sur merci. Historie in Mainant. Cent series debuted in 1909 to commemorate the centennial of Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse features Lincoln's profile, marking the first time a U.S. president appeared on a coin in circulation. The reverse design changed in 1959 from the original wheat ears motif to the Lincoln Memorial, commemorating the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. This new design was created by Frank Gasparo and was used until 2008. The 1973 penny represents a coin from the era when the Lincoln Memorial reverse design was at its peak. This year, like others in the series, saw millions of coins minted, reflecting the robust economy and the necessity of coins for everyday transactions. By 1973, the Lincoln penny was made primarily of 95% copper and 5% zinc, a composition used from 1962 to 1982. This high copper content gives the coin a distinct reddish hue when uncirculated. However, exposure to the elements often turns these pennies a dull brown over time. The obverse features Lincoln's right-facing profile with the inscription, "In God We Trust," above his head, "Liberty" to the left, and the year 1973 to the right. The reverse displays the Lincoln Memorial, with the tiny statue of Lincoln visible within the structure, surrounded by the inscriptions, "United States of America," and "A Pluribus Unum," with the denomination 1 cent at the bottom. The 1973 Lincoln penny was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D mint mark; and San Francisco, S mint mark. The San Francisco Mint produced proof coins, which are characterized by their mirror-like surfaces and sharper details. These proof coins were included in sets sold to collectors and are especially prized for their beauty and craftsmanship. Due to the high copper content, older Lincoln pennies like the 1973 version are sometimes worth more than their face value in metal content. However, it is illegal to melt pennies for their metal, preserving their numismatic significance. In 1973, the U.S. Mint produced over 7 billion Lincoln cents. This vast number ensured that the coin remained readily available for circulation, but it also made most of these pennies common and easily accessible to collectors. Some 1973 pennies exhibit minting errors, such as doubled dies, off-center strikes, or repunched mint marks. These errors are rare and can significantly increase a coin's value, making them a target for numismatists. The year 1973 was a tumultuous time in U.S. history, marked by events like the Watergate scandal and the ongoing Vietnam War. The Lincoln penny, with its image of the great emancipator, served as a quiet reminder of unity and perseverance. For most collectors, the 1973 penny is not particularly valuable in circulated condition due to its high mintage. However, finding uncirculated specimens, proof coins, or error varieties can be exciting additions to a collection. Grading agencies like PCGS and NGC can certify the condition of these coins, adding to their appeal and market value. The 1973 Lincoln Memorial penny may appear unremarkable at first glance, but its rich history, artistic design, and ties to significant moments in American history make it a fascinating coin to explore. Whether cherished as part of a collection or simply admired as a piece of everyday art, the Lincoln penny endures as a symbol of American heritage and the legacy of one of the nation's most revered leaders. The Denver Mint struck over 3.5 billion pennies in 1973, and therefore they are not considered rare either. Like the Philadelphia pennies, they are worth around 2 cents in circulated condition for the copper. MS-65 graded 1973 D penny is worth around $16. The 1974 Lincoln Memorial penny is a notable coin with historical, cultural, and numismatic interest. Issued as part of the United States Mint's production of 1-cent coins, it is part of the Lincoln Memorial series, which was in circulation from 1959 to 2008. This design, historical background, interesting facts, and any unique aspects of the 1974 Lincoln penny. The 1974 Lincoln Memorial penny features a portrait of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, on the obverse side. This design, created by sculptor Victor David Brenner in 1909, has been a staple of U.S. coinage since the centennial of Lincoln's birth. The obverse includes inscriptions such as Liberty, the year 1974, and the motto, In God We Trust. The reverse depicts the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., designed by Frank Gasparo. The detailed depiction includes subtle details like Lincoln's statue within the memorial, visible under magnification. The reverse also includes the inscriptions, United States of America, E pluribus unum, and 1 cent. The year 1974 was a tumultuous period in U.S. history. President Richard Nixon's administration faced the Watergate scandal, leading to increased public scrutiny and a broader conversation about government accountability. While this political climate does not directly relate to the penny, it places the coin within a context of societal change and reflection on leadership, making Lincoln's image and legacy even more significant. The 1974 penny was struck primarily in bronze, consisting of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. However, as inflation and rising metal prices impacted coin production costs, there were experimental strikes using aluminum in 1974 to explore cheaper alternatives. These aluminum pennies were never circulated due to concerns over durability and issues related to metal detection in medical equipment. Only a few aluminum pennies exist today, making them incredibly rare and valuable. The 1974 penny had a high mintage, with billions produced across the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Mints. Philadelphia Mint. No mint mark. Approximately 4.2 billion coins. Denver Mint, marked D. Around 4.2 billion coins. San Francisco Mint, marked S. Nearly 419 million, mostly in proof sets for collectors. These high mintages ensure the coin remains common and accessible, even decades later. One of the most fascinating stories surrounding the 1974 penny is the aluminum prototype. About 1.5 million aluminum pennies were minted but were never released. Most were melted down, but a few escaped into the hands of collectors, leading to legal disputes over ownership. These coins are considered illegal to own, as they were never officially authorized for circulation. While the regular 1974 Lincoln pennies are not rare or highly valuable, they remain a popular choice for collectors completing a Lincoln Memorial penny collection. High-grade coins, especially those in uncirculated or proof condition, can hold some numismatic value. The Lincoln penny is the longest-running design in U.S. coinage history. Its continued use reflects Lincoln's enduring legacy and symbolizes the ideals of liberty, equality, and perseverance he represented. The 1974 Lincoln Memorial penny might appear ordinary at first glance, but its story encompasses a blend of historical significance, innovative experimentation, and numismatic interest. From the enduring design honoring Abraham Lincoln to the curious tale of the aluminum prototypes, this coin represents more than just a monetary unit. It's a snapshot of American history and ingenuity. Whether as a collector's item or a piece of pocket change, the 1974 penny serves as a small yet meaningful artifact from a pivotal era. 974 Lincoln pennies from Denver number around 4 billion, with the bulk of the lot valued at face value. However, those in superb gem uncirculated condition can go for $135. The highest anyone has paid for a Denver Mint coin is $950. 1974, no mint mark aluminum penny value. All others have been recalled, donated to a public institution, or destroyed. This coin is worth an estimated $160,000. Finding one today in uncirculated condition can fetch you as much as $2 million US. The 1975 Lincoln Memorial penny, a staple of American coinage, is both a fascinating artifact and a testament to the enduring legacy of President Abraham Lincoln. This penny, part of the long-running Lincoln Cent series, is significant for its design, material composition, and historical context. Let's explore its origins, unique aspects, and some interesting facts. The Lincoln Cent was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a president's portrait, breaking from the tradition of classical imagery. Designed by Victor David Brenner. The obverse of the 1975 penny was designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909 and remains largely unchanged. The central feature is a right-facing profile of President Abraham Lincoln. The detail in Lincoln's facial features captures a solemn and dignified expression, symbolizing his leadership during the Civil War. "In God We Trust" appears at the top, forming an arc above Lincoln's head. Liberty is positioned to the left of Lincoln, parallel to his shoulder. The date, 1975, is located to the right, just below Lincoln's chin. For pennies minted in Denver, a small D mint mark is placed just below the date. Pennies from Philadelphia do not have a mint mark. The reverse design of the 1975 penny, introduced in 1959, was created by Frank Gasparro. The central element is a detailed depiction of the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. If examined closely, Lincoln's seated statue inside the memorial is visible in miniature detail between the central columns, a remarkable touch for such a small surface. United States of America arcs across the top of the coin. E pluribus unum, Latin for out of many one, appears just above the Lincoln Memorial. The denomination, 1 cent, is placed along the bottom. The reverse highlights Lincoln's legacy by showcasing the memorial built in his honor, symbolizing unity and the preservation of the Union. By 1975, the penny was composed primarily of 95% copper and 5% zinc, a standard maintained since 1962. This high copper content gives pennies of this era their distinctive reddish-brown color. Pennies minted in Philadelphia in 1975 lack a mint mark. However, those produced in Denver bear a small D mint mark, making it easy to identify the mint of origin. The 1975 penny was minted in vast quantities to meet the high demand for small change in daily transactions. Over 5.5 billion pennies were minted that year, making it a common coin. The 1975 penny belongs to the era before the material change in 1982, when rising copper prices led to the introduction of a primarily zinc-based penny with only a thin copper coating. Thus, the 1975 penny is valued for its higher intrinsic copper content. While not considered rare, uncirculated 1975 pennies in pristine condition are sought after by collectors. A penny with exceptional luster or a well-preserved strike can fetch a premium over face value. The 1975 penny represents a moment in American history when coins were still widely used in everyday transactions. It also serves as a tribute to Abraham Lincoln, whose leadership during the Civil War and dedication to preserving the Union made him one of the most revered figures in American history. The depiction of the Lincoln Memorial further underscores the coin's commemorative purpose, connecting the symbolism of Lincoln's legacy to the ideals of unity and democracy. The 1975 Lincoln Memorial penny is more than just a piece of pocket change. It is a small yet powerful symbol of American history, art, and culture. Whether for its historical significance, its role in numismatics, or its copper content, this coin remains a fascinating topic for enthusiasts and collectors alike. 75. Lincoln Memorial Penny. Coin. On 21st March 2014, the sales record for an MS 67 Plus was set at 4,113. Since then, a total of 7 coins got the MS 67 Plus grade from PCGS, so their value estimate for July 2023 has dropped to $950. That said, PCGS has received a single MS 68 coin, so its approximate in 2023 valuation is $10,000. These are coins that show the strongest contrast between the frosted device and the mirrored field. But rarity plays a role in pricing too. Only 2 PF69RD UCAM coins are known, while almost 2,000 have shown up as PR69 DCAM. So a PR69 DCAM was $1,150 in July 2022, estimated at $55 in July 2023. But the single PR70 DCAM is worth $15,000 in July 2023. The Lincoln Memorial penny, officially known as the Lincoln cent, has been a staple of American currency since 1909. The 1976 Lincoln penny is particularly notable for its place within the nation's bicentennial celebrations and its role in the evolution of the U.S. Mint's coinage practices. While it does not carry the special bicentennial designs seen on other coins like the quarter, half-dollar, or dollar, the 1976 penny has its own significance in American numismatic history. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person rather than an allegorical figure. The obverse of the coin, featuring a bust of Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner, remains largely unchanged over the decades, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in American history. The reverse design featuring the Lincoln Memorial, created by Frank Gasparo, debuted in 1959 to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. This design replaced the original wheat ears. Reverse. The Lincoln Memorial design connects the coin to a significant national landmark and emphasizes Lincoln's legacy. In 1976, the United States was abuzz with celebrations of its 200th anniversary as a nation. While the penny did not receive a special bicentennial design, it was still minted during a pivotal year in American history. The absence of a bicentennial motif on the penny contrasts with the celebratory designs introduced for other denominations, making the 1976 penny a symbol of continuity amidst national change. The 1976 Lincoln penny was minted in large quantities, with over 4.6 billion pieces produced between the Philadelphia and Denver mints. This mass production ensured that the coin became a ubiquitous part of daily life, with many Americans using it to buy goods or saving it as a small memento of the bicentennial year. The 1976 Lincoln penny was struck using the standard composition of the time, 95% copper and 5% zinc. This alloy had been in use since 1962 and continued until 1982, when rising copper prices prompted the switch to a predominantly zinc core with a thin copper plating. Collectors and enthusiasts often seek out 1976 pennies for their historical significance. While most examples are common and hold no premium beyond face value, certain high-grade or error coins can command higher prices. For example, well-preserved specimens graded as mint state MS or coins with unique die errors such as double die obverses or unusual planchet anomalies are of particular interest. Despite its high mintage, finding a 1976 penny in pristine, uncirculated condition can be challenging due to the extensive circulation of these coins. While other coins in 1976 received new designs to honor the bicentennial, the Lincoln penny retained its design, representing consistency and the enduring legacy of Abraham Lincoln. Given the 95% copper composition, 1,976 pennies are sometimes valued by scrap metal enthusiasts for their intrinsic copper content, although melting U.S. coins for metal value is illegal. The reverse design of the Lincoln penny, featuring the Lincoln Memorial, includes a tiny depiction of the seated statue of Abraham Lincoln, visible under magnification, a tribute to Gasparo's attention to detail. The 1976 Lincoln Memorial penny may not carry the dramatic design changes of other bicentennial coins, but it remains an important piece of American numismatic history. Its ties to the nation's founding principles, reflected in Lincoln's legacy, make it a fascinating artifact of a year filled with patriotism and historical reflection. For collectors and history enthusiasts, the 1976 penny is a small yet meaningful reminder of America's enduring ideals and the steadfastness of its currency. The 1976 penny with 50% off strike and preserved date cost about $50 to $110, while pieces with only 50% off strike and preserved date cost about $20 to $50. 5% to 10% off center are worth up to $10. You can also find some other variations. For instance, the 1976 penny with 60% off center error typically sells for $60. 1976. No mint mark penny value. Therefore, pieces in circulated condition are non-collectible, while you can find red-toned cents in the mint state for less than $1. Only specimens in MS 66 grade are worth more, with an average price of $30. Penny struck on a 5-cent clad nickel planchet. The 1976 penny minted in Denver on a nickel planchet is a rare error worth over $1,200. It is interesting to see this error piece struck on a nickel planchet with a diameter of 0.835 inches instead of 0.75 inches, 19.05 millimeters, standard for pennies. The Lincoln Memorial Penny, minted in 1977, is a classic piece of American coinage that carries both historical significance and intriguing numismatic details. This 1-cent coin was part of a series that featured the Lincoln Memorial reverse design, which spanned from 1959 to 2008. Introduced to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, the Lincoln penny remains a cherished coin among collectors and enthusiasts. The obverse of the 1977 penny, like all Lincoln cents since 1909, features a right-facing profile of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. This portrait is notable for being the longest-running design on any U.S. coin in continuous use. The 1977 penny retained the original composition of 95% copper and 5% zinc, which would later change in 1982 to a predominantly zinc composition due to rising metal costs. On the reverse, the Lincoln Memorial design, created by Frank Gasparo, is prominently displayed. This design replaced the original wheat ears reverse in 1959. A closer look at the reverse reveals an intriguing detail: a tiny representation of the statue of Abraham Lincoln seated inside the memorial, making this coin one of the few to feature the same individual on both sides. In 1977, the Lincoln penny was produced at 3 facilities. Philadelphia Mint produced 4,469,930,000 coins without a mint mark. Denver Mint minted 4,194,062,300 coins, identifiable by the D mint mark. San Francisco Mint produced proof coins for collectors with a mintage of 3,251,152. The sheer number of pennies produced in 1977 reflects their critical role in everyday transactions during that time. The large mintage also makes these coins relatively common today, though certain variations and conditions can make specific examples more valuable. 1,977 penny contains about 2.95 grams of copper. With fluctuating copper prices, the intrinsic metal value of these pre-1982 pennies sometimes exceeds their face value, though melting pennies for their metal is illegal in the U.S. Some 1977 pennies exhibit doubling on the date or lettering, a minting error highly sought after by collectors. These doubled die varieties can significantly increase the coin's value. The Lincoln penny is one of the most iconic coins in U.S. history, symbolizing a tribute to a leader who preserved the Union during the Civil War. The coin's widespread use and design continuity reflect its enduring significance. While most 1977 pennies are worth only their face value, their condition can greatly affect their numismatic worth. Uncirculated or proof examples, especially those graded highly by organizations like the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, can fetch higher prices. For example, a 1977 penny in pristine condition might sell for a few dollars, and error coins can command even more. Beyond its monetary value, the 1977 Lincoln penny serves as a tangible link to American history. Its enduring presence in pockets and collections across the country is a reminder of Lincoln's legacy and the artistry of U.S. mint designs. Collectors appreciate these coins not just for their material worth, but for the stories they carry about American life, economy, and values during the late 20th century. The 1977 Lincoln Memorial penny is more than just a coin. It's a piece of history. With its rich design, historical connections, and collectible potential, it continues to captivate both casual holders and serious numismatists. Whether viewed as a humble cent or a small treasure, The 1977 penny embodies the legacy of Abraham Lincoln and the enduring spirit of American coinage. The value of a 1977 Lincoln Memorial cent depends on its condition and type. Circulated. A 1977 D Lincoln Memorial cent in circulated condition is worth its face value of 1 cent. You can buy or sell circulated coins at a local coin dealer. High-grade, a 1977 Lincoln Memorial cent and high-grade, such as MS 67 or higher, or with a mint error, may be worth more. For example, a 1977 MS 66 Lincoln cent sold at auction for $2,645 in 2008, rare. Some 1977 Lincoln Memorial cents are rare and can be worth more. For example, a 1977 D Lincoln penny with an error on the D that is almost all filled in may be worth $1,250. The Lincoln Memorial penny, minted in 1978, represents a significant chapter in the history of U.S. coinage. It is part of the long-running series featuring the profile of President Abraham Lincoln, which began in 1909 to commemorate the centennial of his birth. This particular year, in 1978, marked the end of an era for the penny before significant changes were introduced in the following decade. Here's an exploration of its history, design, and notable details. The Lincoln cent debuted in 1909, becoming the first U.S. coin to feature the likeness of a real person rather than allegorical figures. Victor David Brenner, a Lithuanian-American sculptor, designed the coin. His initials, VDB, appeared prominently on the reverse of the first issued coins, sparking public debate and resulting in their removal from subsequent designs. The obverse of the coin features a right-facing profile of Abraham Lincoln, while the reverse from 1959 to 2008 showcased the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo. In 1978, Lincoln penny features the enduring designs of Brenner and Gasparo, a portrait of Abraham Lincoln facing right, accompanied by the inscriptions Liberty and the year 1978. The phrase "In God We Trust" arches along the top rim. The Lincoln Memorial, with the inscriptions United States of America, E Pluribus Unum, and 1 cent. A small representation of the statue of Lincoln can be seen in the center of the memorial if viewed under magnification. This design not only honors Lincoln's legacy, but also underscores the architectural symbolism of the memorial, which serves as a reminder of his leadership during a tumultuous period in American history. In 1978, penny was struck in 3 main locations: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, marked D; and San Francisco, marked S. The total mintage for this year exceeded 11 billion coins, reflecting the high demand for small denomination currency during the late 20th century. The coin was composed of 95% copper and 5% zinc, making it part of the bronze pennies. This composition lasted until 1982, when rising copper prices necessitated a transition to a predominantly zinc composition with a thin copper plating. The 1978 Lincoln penny was among the last to be struck in the traditional copper composition before the 1982 change. This makes it particularly interesting for collectors interested in the evolution of U.S. coinage materials. Collectors often seek mint-marked versions of the 1978 penny, particularly proof coins from the San Francisco Mint. These proof pennies, struck with polished dies, have a mirrored finish that sets them apart from standard circulation coins. As with many coins, error pennies from 1978 are highly sought after. Examples include off-center strikes, doubled dies, or other minting anomalies that make such coins rare and valuable. The immense quantity in 1978 pennies produced highlights the enduring need for pennies in everyday transactions during the 20th century. Despite debates about the coin's economic viability, the 1978 penny is part of a broader legacy that includes one of the longest-running coin designs in U.S. history. The Lincoln Memorial Reverse was retired in 2008, making these coins part of a now complete era of U.S. currency. In 1978, Lincoln Memorial Penny is a small but significant artifact of American history and culture. It bridges the legacy of Abraham Lincoln with the day-to-day commerce of millions of Americans during its time in circulation. While not particularly rare, its historical context, design, and role in the transition of U.S. coinage materials make it a fascinating piece for collectors and history enthusiasts alike. Whether held as a nostalgic keepsake or part of a broader numismatic collection, in 1978, penny continues to remind us of the enduring impact of one of America's greatest presidents. The total of no mint mark pennies produced in 1978 is 5,558,605,000, so they're not worth much. In May 2004, a 1978 MS-62BN sold for $661, while an MS-63RB was merely $135 during a March 2018 eBay sale. The 1979 Lincoln Memorial Penny is a fascinating coin that holds a place in the hearts of collectors and history enthusiasts alike. Introduced as part of the United States 1-cent coin series, it features the enduring design of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, created by sculptor Victor David Brenner in 1909, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, which debuted in 1959. This coin encapsulates a unique blend of artistic legacy, historical commemoration, and numismatic intrigue. One of the most interesting aspects of the 1979 Lincoln Memorial Penny lies in its composition and production. The coin is primarily made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, a composition that would soon change. In 1982, due to rising copper prices, the U.S. Mint transitioned to a predominantly zinc composition with a thin copper plating. Thus, the 1979 penny represents one of the final years of the traditional all-copper composition, making it a nostalgic piece for numismatists who value its historical continuity. The 1979 penny was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D mint mark; and San Francisco, S mint mark. The San Francisco Mint primarily produced proof coins for collectors, which are notable for their sharp details and mirror-like finishes. These proof coins often attract special interest among collectors due to their superior quality and limited production numbers. Another intriguing fact about the 1979 Lincoln penny is its connection to changes in minting technology and design. This year saw the continuation of efforts to refine coin production techniques. For example, the sharpness of the lettering and details in the Lincoln Memorial, including the faint depiction of the statue of Lincoln within the memorial, highlight advancements in die-making and striking processes. Collectors sometimes focus on minute variations, such as doubled dies or other errors, which can significantly increase a coin's value and appeal. The Lincoln Memorial penny itself carries a rich symbolic legacy. The obverse portrait of Abraham Lincoln, introduced in 1909 to mark the centennial of his birth, was the first U.S. coin to feature a president. The reverse design, created by Frank Gasparo, celebrates Lincoln's role in preserving the Union, with the Lincoln Memorial symbolizing unity and democracy. This dual representation of Lincoln, as an individual and as an enduring symbol of American values, imbues the coin with a depth of meaning that transcends its monetary value. While the 1979 penny is not considered rare, its enduring charm lies in its accessibility and connection to a broader historical narrative. For many, It serves as a tangible link to the past, evoking memories of a time when pennies were a more active part of daily commerce. Collectors and history buffs appreciate the coin not only for its design and composition, but also for its role in marking a transitional period in U.S. coinage. In conclusion, the 1979 Lincoln Memorial Penny is more than just a small piece of copper. It is a testament to American history, innovation, and cultural memory. Whether examined for its aesthetic details, its place in numismatic history, or its symbolic resonance, this coin continues to captivate and inspire those who take the time to study it. Its story is a reminder of the intricate interplay between artistry, history, and everyday life that defines the world of coins. The 1979 Lincoln penny with no mint mark is the standard Philadelphia coin with over 6 billion minted that year, so it's a super common and recent coin. See attached. In circulated condition, it is under 10 cents, and in high-graded mint condition, it can sell for a few dollars to up to $10 to $20.